Over a year ago now, I set out with the goal of creating the Toronto only Ultimate Iron Man and completing the new Elven questline and entering the city of Prifddinas. I think it's safe to say that I had no idea what it would entail and where this journey would take me. The support from all of you has been absolutely insane and the grinds have been monumental. And whilst it feels like I've made an incredible amount of progress with the account, in reality, over the last year, I've just been laying down the foundations and starting the account off. There's still so much more to come and there is going to be so much yet to unfold and to discover. I've recently completed the Song of the Elves on my main account, and whilst its stats weren't too far off what Toraman onlys are, the requirements for the quest were substantially easier to get. I know the idea of me completing the Song of the Elves and fighting the final boss has always been a point of contention, but honestly, after doing it myself, I don't think the fight is as hard as it's been made out to be. I know it's going to be a struggle, but it will be possible. So in today's video, we're going to cover not only what I've discovered in Prifddinas, but also what the second year of Toraman only has to offer. So just to recap, I'm still 5 level 70s off even having the requirements for the Song of the Elves, and they're probably going to take me the better part of this year to achieve. And whilst I don't want to put a time frame on it, because anything could change between now and then, I think it will take me at least another 6 months before I walk in the gates of that city. So my goals for this year, both personally and for Toraman only, are of course get into Prifddinas, and at the very least make a start on completing what would be my endgame content. But on top of that, I also want to try and deliver these videos to you guys more consistently, and also give you guys more content. So not only am I going to try and pick up my game content-wise on YouTube, I'm also going to start at the beginning of February, streaming over on Twitch at least 2 to 3 days a week, with primarily Toraman only content. So if you haven't yet, drop a follow over there, but follow me on Twitter for live updates, and I'll also post on the YouTube community page once that starts. And if you're interested about how I'm going to train those skills, go check out episode 17 of the Toraman only Ultimate Iron Man, where I discuss all of my training methods and my plan up until I reach Prifddinas. So previously, I've discussed in great detail about how I'm going to try and get into Prifddinas, and what I'm going to be doing up until I can start the Song of the Elves. But past that, I've never really spoken much about it besides tossing up whether or not I want to max the account. I've recently decided that maxing on this account is going to be next to impossible, and if I was to max an account, I'd like to focus on my regular Ultimate Iron Man as you saw in the previous video. But Toraman only doesn't end when I walk into the gates of Prifddinas. I've recently set up an entire gear list and an entire set of goals for what I want to do in the endgame and what I will achieve once I finally complete the Song of the Elves. I think by ticking off these goals and creating a list, I'll be able to healthily round out the account and create a nice, wholesome finish for the series. So the first part that I want to tackle in regards to endgame content is a gear list. A list of all the items that I want to collect from each of the bosses to show that I've completed all of the content within the area and I've created the best account I possibly can. One of the first bosses I'll be taking on will be Zulrah. It's going to be one of the hardest, and honestly doing it before Prifddinas and before Crystal Armor is going to be next to impossible. But from Zulrah, I'm looking for the Serp Helm, I'm looking for an Amulet of Fury, and I'm looking to get the Blowpipe, which I can actually fill with darts that I collect from Crystal Implings within Prifddinas, so it comes full circle anyway. The next boss I'm really excited for is the Gauntlet. It's entirely dependent on stats and takes any gear requirements out of the picture. It's something I've really wanted to try for quite a while, but it also offers the Crystal Armor set as a reward. On top of that is the Blade of Saldor, which is one of the best melee weapons in the game, which I desperately want on this account. I'd also love to get the Huntleff as a pet, and potentially set a world record for the best corrupted gauntlet time. I know I'm competing with Wooks up there, but if I put enough effort into it and I try hard enough, it might be possible. In regards to Zolcano, it offers next to no uniques that are useful to me, but it will offer a lot of smithing experience. However, outside of bossing, there's also a few other items that I'm really interested in achieving to say that I've created the best possible account. The first one, and quite frankly I think it might be the hardest out of any, is the level 2 rabbit in the north of Prifddinas. He's hiding in the cave and he kicks ass. I'm actually not sure I'll even be able to do this, but hopefully with a full set of crystal armor and a crystal bow, I can kite him long enough that I can actually kill him. The final item on my list, and it's one that I'm actually really excited for, is the Crystal Crown that you can buy within Prifddinas for 250 million GP. I'll put that on to finish off the entire series, and I'll crown myself finally the King of the Elves. That pretty well does it for the gear list and the items I want to achieve once I'm in Prifddinas. The only things I might add on top of that would be some Dragonstone armor or a pet from any of the bosses, but those might be added in later after I actually reach the city, but this base list are all of the items that I want to say I have completed my account. Alongside this gear list, there's a bunch of other achievements I'd like to tick off a list to say that I've completed the account. So the first one would be killing the level 2 rabbit in the north of Prifddinas, which I would need to do to get the Crystal Grail anyway. Another achievement I'd like to tick off is to set the record for the agility course within Prifddinas. Now I don't even know if it will be possible, but it's something I'd absolutely love to do and to have my name immortalized there until someone could potentially beat me. But I figure I'm going to be running the course an insane amount of times, and at the very least I can try and figure out how to set a record and try my very best to break it. Now I'm sure as a lot of you already know, and as far as I can research, I can't find anything on this topic as to solving it. There are 8 bells located within the second story of Prif, representing one for each clan. Now I know a lot of research has been done with it, and the JMods have definitely confirmed that something is here and there's a puzzle to be solved, and I'd love to crack it. I'd love to be the first one, and if I do, maybe, just maybe, Mod Ed will immortalize me with a statue. But if it has already been solved, please let me know down in the comments because I'd love to figure out exactly what the go with it is. And if it hasn't been solved by the time I make it to Prif, well, we're adding that one to the list of achievements to tick off. And finally, on top of the gear list, on top of the achievements, there's a couple of 99s that I want to achieve once I'm in Prif, as they're going to be relatively easy and I think it will well round off the account, seeing as maxing every skill is impossible. The first skill, and as I said I'll be training it tirelessly trying to set the record, is 99 agility. Now you might ask, how exactly am I even going to get the 75 agility rec to get onto the course? Well, whilst I was completing Morning Zen Part 2, I figured out there was a new agility training method once I've unlocked the Temple of Light, and with the release of the Song of the Elves, it has become perfectly viable. Within the temple, there are these ladders located on some of the walls that take you between level 2 and level 3. Now with each pass of the ladder, you gain 3 agility XP, and whilst it isn't amazing, the speed that you go through the obstacle gets you upwards of 7k agility XP an hour, which is more than 7 times what I was making when I was going through the underground pass. And whilst it is possible to fail this ladder, it is very, very rare and I'm yet to have done it yet. It is only since the release of the Song of the Elves and since the change to the Shade Aggro and completing Morning Zen Part 2 that you can use this agility method, and it is viable for my account. Once upon a time they used to PJ you off and it was an absolute nightmare, but now it's perfectly viable and it's going to help me get to level 75 much quicker. Some of the other skills I'm looking to max are ones such as woodcutting, which spoilers, I'm already halfway there, so that will come very quickly. And ranged is another one that will come very quickly and will come in very handy when I try to do ranger only kills with the crystal bow and crystal armor against Zora. Thieving is another skill I'm looking to max, and whilst a bit of an odd one, I have to get it to level 85 soon anyway so that I can progress the account. From there, after completing the Song of the Elves, the mourners hidden within the basement are actually replaced with paladins and Knights of Ardi, which we know give pretty decent XP rates and quite a bit of cash, which I can then put towards the Crystal Crown. Apart from that, there's only 2 to 3 other skills I'm really looking to max. Mining is one of them, which I'm still tossing up because it is one of my most hated skills, but apart from that, smithing is a skill that I think I'll be able to max quite easily once I farm Volcano for a while. It'll also allow me to create a rune axe once a high enough level, which I can then in turn use to get 99 construction and unlock my one and only skill cape on the account, as I can get it from the estate agent hidden within Prifddinas. And on top of this, Prifddinas also offers one of the best construction methods for UIMs, so this one should be a breeze. So between the gear list that I created, the achievements I want to get, and the skills that I want to max, that will wholly round out the Toramon only account, and that is when I will consider it finished. I'll no longer be trying to max the account, and I'm going to try and smash out getting to Prifddinas as quick as I can, so I can move on to this endgame content, but I know we're still quite a while away, and we're going to buckle in for the journey, and I hope you guys can enjoy it. So I know this video today was something a little bit different, and it probably wasn't what you guys were expecting, but it's a question I've been asked quite a lot, and it's something that I need to define to myself for this year to know that I have clear-cut goals set and what I can progress towards. So I really do hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope it gives a bit of an understanding of where I'm at the moment and what I'm planning to do with this account. And I'm going to try and keep Toramon only content even more consistent on the channel, along with attempting weekly RS content uploads over here. I've already got a few videos lined up and I'm starting to brainstorm as many ideas as I can, so you guys can at least have a weekly fix of Turtle. So guys, I really do hope you enjoyed it, and if you enjoy me and you enjoy the content, please consider hitting subscribe. We're going for 50,000 subscribers this year, that's the goal. We smashed almost 30 in the last year, I reckon we can almost double it. So thank you all so much for the most amazing 2019 and the most amazing start to this series. We've only just laid down the foundations and we're really starting to get our hands dirty with it. So I'll catch you guys very soon and I'll see you all next time.